binomial distribution?
Okay, teacher. A binomial distribution consisting of n trials has a probability of success P and a probability of failure Q. If the binomial distribution has a mean value of 27 and a standard deviation of 4.5, calculate the values of n, P, and Q.
Okay, now if they say the mean is 27, that means they say mu is 27. Now if mu is 27, that means the NP, mu is NP ma. So the NP is 27. Okay, mu 27, but mu is NP, the number times the probability is 27. I call this equation 1. I call this equation 1. Now the second one, the standard deviation is 45. So the sigma is 45. This one, this symbol is sigma. Where is it? This one. This symbol is called sigma. S I G M A. This is the small letter sigma. The big letter sigma is like this. The big letter sigma. Okay. So this sigma is equals to 4.5. So, but you look at the formula, the sigma is square root of NPQ. So I say square root of NPQ is 4.5. But with the square root there, I cannot solve the equation. So I square both sides of the equation. When I square this square root of NPQ, it becomes NPQ. Then I square this 4.5, it becomes 20.25. So I have two equations, one NP27, the other one NPQ is 20.25. Now in order to eliminate some of the unknowns there, you have to divide the equation. Cannot subtract or add to eliminate, right? Because this one is all multiplication. So I used equation 2 divided by equation 1. So equation 2 is NPQ. Equation 1 is NP. On the right hand side, equation 2 is 20.25. Equation 1 is 27. So when you divide these two, the NP and NP will cancel and you get Q only. When you divide these two numbers, the answer is 3 over 4. Probably if you use calculator, you will get 0.75. You get 0.75. Okay, never mind. When you use decimal also okay, right? So this is one answer already. Q equals to 304. Now in order to find the P, because I know Q is 1 minus P. So 1 minus P is 3 over 4. P is 1 over 4. P is 1 over 4. Okay, the Q you replace with 1 minus P. Then with these values of P and Q, here the value of P here and the value of Q here, these two values I substitute into, let's say, equation 1 or equation 2. It's up to you, right? So because equation 1 is easier, only got P. So I substitute into equation 1 and P equals to 27. So when you bring the 4 over to the other side, you know that N is 108. 108. Any questions so far?
No, teacher.
No. No, then you read question number 2, a discrete random variable x.
A discrete random variable x b bracket 120 comma 0.4, find its mean and standard deviation.
Okay. Now, this one I told you earlier how to read. This one is x, then the curly sign here. X is distributed binomially, n is 120, p is 0.4. So you can say x is distributed binomially. Okay, so x is distributed binomially 120, 0.4. So from here, this first number, I know it is the mu, or the expected value of x. So mu is 120. So mu is actually n p. Sorry, no, it's not mu. This one is n, sorry. The number of trials is n, and the probability of success is 0.4. So you use these two numbers, you substitute. You can hear me, you can see the screen. So I use the value of n and p, I substitute inside the mu. So 120, 0.4, 0.4, answer is 48. Answer is 48. Okay, then if you want to find the standard deviation, the formula is square root of npq. So square root of n 120, p is 0.4, q is 1 minus 0.4, that is 0.6. So these things you can use your calculator and calculate, right? Can you read question number 3?
There are 5,000 people in a village. It is found that 8 out of 10 of the villagers install broadband at home. Find the mean, variance, and standard deviation for the number of people who have broadband.
Okay, right. Now, if they say there are 5,000 people in a village, what does this mean? This means that n equals to 5,000. So this is what we can have. N equals to 5,000. If they say 8 out of 100 villages install broadband, so 8 out of 10 means the probability of broadband is 8 over 10. That is 0.8. Now, once you know the value of n and the value of p, that means you know everything about the binomial distribution. So you know everything about binomial distribution, what they want you to find. If they want you to find probability, then you use the formula for probability. If they want you to find the mean, variance, and standard deviation, then you use the formula for mean, variance, and standard deviation. So the first part is they want to find the mean. So the formula for mean is NP. So you substitute in the value of n, 5,000, substitute in the value of p, 0.8. So the mean is 4,000. Now what does this mean? It means that out of 5,000 people in the village, 4,000 of them have broadband. So why 4,000? Because n times p. N is 5,000, P is 0.8. So average 4,000 of them have broadband. Next one, we want to find the variance. The variance is given by the formula NPQ. NPQ. So this is the formula. So what is the value of NP? NP, just now we have found 4,000 together, the whole thing. NP is 4,000. What is the value of Q? 0.2. How to get 0.2? 1 minus P. 1 minus 0.8. That's how we get 0.2. So you multiply these two numbers together, it is 800. Now this variance is actually the intermediate stage. There is no meaning unless you convert it to standard deviation. Okay, the variance is actually for easy calculation because it has no square root sign there. But if you want the meaning of variance, then you have to proceed one step further and tell the deviation. What is the deviation? Deviation is how much the value is away from the center, away from the mean. How much it is more than the mean, how much it is less than the mean, that is the standard deviation. The bigger the standard deviation, the data all spreads out very wide. If the standard deviation is small, that means the data is not spread out. It's all concentrated at the center. Now, afterwards, we are going to do normal distribution. Now, from normal distribution, you can see the meaning of this variance and standard deviation, right? Okay, so in order to find the value of standard deviation, you just square root the NPQ. NPQ is 800. Square root of NPQ is square root of 800. Oh, if you have learned SURD in Form 4, SURD, 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 and you use your knowledge of SURD, you can change it to 20 square root 2. Or you cannot, then you just leave it as decimal. Just use your calculator, leave it as decimal. Now, earlier on, you read about this hockey. Hockey. During a practice session, each player in the hockey team is given a chance to take 6 penalty shots. The probability that a player scores a goal from the penalty shot is P. After the session, it is found that the mean number of goals for each player is 2.4. Find the value of P. Okay, so like we have a team there. Every player will go and hit 6 times. How many times? 8. 6 times. Okay, I hit 6 times. Li Ying going to hit 6 times. Sherwin going to hit 6 times. So how many goals? The average number of goal is 2.4. Okay, now if you know the average is or the expected value or the mean is 2.4, that means you know that NP is 2.4, right? So NP is 2.4. How to calculate the value of P? Okay, so this you use this this one NP. So over here the NP, okay, we are going to use this formula here, NP. NP is 2.4. So this is NP and this is 2.4. What is the value of N here? 6. The value of N is 6. P is P. So 6P is 2.4. So you can calculate the value of P, which is 0.4. If P is 0.4, can you tell me what is the value of Q? Anyone can tell me what is the value of Q? Yayan, what is the value of Q? We found out P is 0.4. Go or not? Know what is Q or not? How to find Q? 1 minus
Uh, Q
1 minus P.
Q is 1 minus 0.4.
How much is it?
1 minus
0.
0.4.
Is 0.6.
0.6.
Okay, then the next part they want us to find, if a player is chosen at random, find the probability that he score at least 2 goals. Probability of at least 2 goals means 2 goals, 3 goals, 4, 5 goals, or 6 goals. But if you want to find all this probability, then you have to do how many times? 5 times. You use the probability formula 5 times. So to take the shortcut, I use 1 minus the complement. So what is the complement of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? The complement is 0 and 1. So instead of adding up all the 5 probabilities, I use 1 minus probability of x0, probability of x1. And this will give me the probability of x greater than 2. So I apply the formula also, but I apply the formula 2 times instead of 5 times. So minus first probability x0 minus second probability x equals to 1. So using your calculator, you can find this value, right? You can find the value. The last one. In a study, it is found out that 3 out of 5 men enjoy football game. If 1,000 are selected at random, find the mean and standard deviation. So if they say 3 out of 5, this means that they are giving us the probability P. If they say 1,000 men are selected at random, they are giving us the value of N. This one is the value of P. Okay, now, so how much is the P? 3 over 5. So here is what we get. The P is 3 over 5. How much is the N? N is 1,000. So if you want to find the average or the mean value or the expected value, you use the formula NP. N is 1,000, P is 5 over 3. 5 over 3 is 0.6. So the answer is 600. So if you have 1,000 men, average 600 of them love this football game. How to find the standard deviation? Standard deviation, the formula is NPQ. So you substitute in the value of N, P, and Q, take the square root, you have 15.49. Any questions so far?
No, teacher.
No, no question. Sherwin, any question?